What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give you 4 of my favorite buy low targets and 2 of my favorite sell high targets. I've also included some examples of players who are similar value that you can look to acquire in a trade for the sell high targets, or players you can look to trade away for the buy low targets. Feel free to leave a comment if you're sending or receiving any trades, and I'll make sure to respond as soon as I can. Remember to leave a like if you enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't, and before we jump into this video, make sure you take a second to listen to our video sponsor. Hey everyone, we're so excited here at Fantasy Puck to announce a partnership with the Manscaped team. You can now get 20% off plus free shipping with code FANTASYPUCK. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code FANTASYPUCK at manscaped.com. This is a great way to support the channel and get some unbelievable products over at Manscaped. Christmas is approaching fast, and make sure you get yourself, your brother, your father, your uncle, and all your friends the best gifts possible from Manscaped. Trust me when I say it, I've used the product and there's nothing better. Join me and the 4 million other men who trust Manscaped. Remember, manscaped.com, use code FANTASYPUCK for 20% off plus free shipping. First buy low target of this video, to no surprise, is Kevin Fiala of the Minnesota Wild. In some leagues, Fiala may even be available on your waiver wire, but I assure you, now is the time to make a move to either acquire him or add him. Fiala is not even off to that bad of a start, but his lack of scoring has definitely made some fantasy owners think twice about owning him. So far this season, he has just 4 goals and 18 points in 28 games, adding 90 shots while playing 17 minutes and 17 seconds per night. His minutes have seen a decline in the past few weeks. I don't think this is anything to worry about. Fiala is at a career high while playing over 17 minutes and should be able to maintain this. Fiala currently ranks 18th for shots amongst forwards, 12th for individual Corsi 4, and 14th for individual scoring chances 4, meaning that Fiala as an individual has been one of the most productive offensive players in terms of creating offense. His 11.2 shots per 60 is enough to rank him 22nd in the league amongst forwards and is just shy of his career average. MoneyPuck.com uses a statistic called goals above or below expected, and if a player has a negative goals above expected, this means that ultimately they're getting unlucky for the chances they've had. Fiala ranks as the second most unlucky player at negative 5.6 goals above expected, and based on his chances this season, he should be at about 10 goals. This is also proven by his 4.4% shooting percentage, one of the lowest in the league amongst forwards, and almost 60% lower than his career average. Fiala is bound to turn it around, and for my fantasy league, I'm currently holding him on my roster. Moving on to the next buy low target, we have Brock Boeser of the Vancouver Canucks. Funny enough, Boeser was actually dropped in one of my 12-team leagues last week, but was quickly added. The Canucks are in a really tough spot, and may be the most frustrating team in hockey right now. The coaching change definitely has me intrigued. It seems like Boudreau could turn this team around, making it a perfect time to buy low on some of their struggling stars. Boeser's off to a slow start, scoring just 7 goals and 15 points in 27 games, while adding a -8 rating and 71 shots. His minutes are down just a bit to 18 minutes and 33 seconds per night, from 19 minutes and 19 seconds last season. Recently, his minutes have been trending upwards, where he's played 20 minutes in 2 of his last 4 games. Boeser's 8.5 shots per 60 is about 10% higher than we saw last season, and his shooting percentage is down nearly 25% from his career average. He definitely has the blessing from his coaches, as he's skating on the second line with Pearson and Miller and on the top power play unit. He's a goal scorer and always has been. If the Canucks do begin to turn things around, as they already have, you can expect Boeser to be put in a prime position to lead this team offensively. I love his outlook moving forward, and his trade value is extremely low. Sticking with the Vancouver Canucks, the next buy low target is goaltender Thatcher Demko. Man, were we ever excited about Demko going into this season. It seems like every year there are high hopes for him that are quickly diminished due to Vancouver's significant lack of defense. Demko currently leads all goaltenders in games played, shots against, and saves. Those stats don't really mean much for fantasy, but is a good indicator that he'll be getting bulk of the work for the rest of the season. Currently, Demko holds a solid 12-11-1 record, a .917 save percentage, and a .266 goals against average, numbers that definitely do not reflect how bad Vancouver has been defensively. Similar to my thoughts on Boeser, if the Canucks can turn it around under Boudreau, Demko's value is going to skyrocket, and he may end up as one of the top goalies as the league progresses. Goalies are pretty thin this season in fantasy, especially because of all the injury and COVID, and Demko seems to be one of the highest floor goaltenders that you can acquire in a trade without having to give up too much in return. The final buy low target for this video is Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The 24-year-old offensive defenseman is in his 6th season with the Jackets, and after some early struggles this year, he looks like a solid buy low target to bolster your defensive core in fantasy. Werenski has 5 goals and 18 points in 27 games, adding 80 shots, 40 blocks, and a career-high 26 minutes and 29 seconds of ice time per night. Werenski is one of the league's top goal-scoring defensemen, especially back in 2019 where he scored 20 goals in 63 games, on pace for 26 goals. Werenski's metrics all point to him having one of the best seasons of his career. His 1.1 assists per 60 is at a career high, while his 6.7 shots per 60 is just below his career high. Werenski's 64 Corsi 4 per 60 is well above his previous career high, and it's important to mention that his minutes are up by almost 2 per season, making it more difficult to repeat his per 60 metrics. He ranks 6th in the league for shots by a defenseman, 3rd in individual expected goals for, and 3rd in individual scoring chances for. Overall, Werenski is creating chances like crazy, and eventually they're going to lead to goals. Columbus looks to be getting a key offensive player back in Patrick Laine. This should significantly boost the scoring in Columbus, and on the team's top power play unit that is quarterbacked by Werenski. His increase in minutes, ability to create chances, and increased shot rate this season should all justify why Werenski is a top buy low target at this point in the season. Jumping over to the sell high segment, the first sell high player we have is Mikael Granlund of the Nashville Predators. Honestly, Nashville has so many sell high players, but today I want to pick on Granlund. In 28 games this season, Granlund has already managed to tie his season total from last year in 33 less games. He's posted 5 goals, 27 points, while adding 8 power play points and just 45 shots. Granlund's current pace is super unsustainable. He's well above his career high in assists per 60, while his shots per 60 are at a career low. Granlund has never been known as a high volume shooter or a goal scorer, so this is justified, but at 4.5 shots per 60, Granlund ranks amongst the bottom percentile of the league. It is important to note that Granlund had an extremely strong November, recording 19 points in 14 games, but is off to a pretty bad start in December, recording just 2 assists and 9 shots in 6 games. This is indicative of what we should see moving forward. The Predators are just not a strong offensive team, and it makes sense to trade Granlund now while he's almost at a point per game pace before he begins to cool off. The other sell high target is James Reimer of the San Jose Sharks. The 33-year-old netminder has been a journeyman, and he has now found himself on the Sharks, and it has really been the main reason to their success. Reimer holds a 9-5-1 record and an outstanding .936 save percentage and a .199 goals against average. Unheard of stats for a goalie who holds a .914 career save percentage and a .283 career goals against average. San Jose has actually struggled quite a bit defensively this season, but has been bailed out by Reimer. They have given up the 3rd most Corsi against, the 10 most scoring chances against, and rank 11th for shots for percentage. Overall, the Sharks have given up a ton of chances against, and they seem to be lacking offensively to make up for this. Once the Sharks begin to fall back down to earth, likely reflecting their 2020 numbers, Reimer's value is going to significantly drop to the point where he may even be dropped. For a goalie who's had a mediocre career, it's unlikely that San Jose is where he'll rejuvenate himself to the #1 goalie many Leafs fans sought after years ago. That'll do it for a buy low, sell high video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. As the Fantasy Puck community prepares you for the season, make sure you click that link in our description and check out all of our content channels. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.